in a moment. There's Courtney, active now. Say hi. I don't want to say hi. I want her on the feed. How do I get you on the feed? Um, and all right, Neil, you get your face on there too. So,
Okay.
all righty, we are on Facebook and YouTube. If you found us on Facebook, YouTube channel is Watch AMS, and I don't. Okay, oops,
Okay.
sorry. I think I sent you like 4 invitations, Courtney. Sorry.
Okay, maybe it'll.
There we go. Um, ex- okay. All right. I'm just gonna. There we go.
Okay,
There we go. We got this.
there we go.
We got this.
We're getting it. We're getting it.
We are getting there. I wish I could do a Courtney. You're automatically a moderator
Oh,
on TikTok. There we go. And now Neil's invite is sent. Okay. So if you are on Facebook and you want to head over to YouTube to rewatch because we're oh so exciting, go to watchams.com. If you are on YouTube and you want to go on the Facebook group and have lots of interaction with us, ask us questions, which will bring me to the disclaimer in a moment, go to amspublicgroup.com. AMS stands for Active Medical Solutions. That is our company, and what we do is lifestyle medicine, lots of weight management, some other things. Just we make your life better. So, speaking of which, this is not a it's not a doctor's appointment. This is not medical advice. This is not legal advice, not financial advice, and not relationship advice. And Courtney and I were just talking before we hopped on that we kind of suck at adulting right now. So it's no adulting advice either.
none.
No athletic coaching advice, right? Because that's coming up. What else is there? What are we not doing here? But we do answer lots of questions. What do we talk about? We talk about the GLP-1 medication class because that is our first and foremost expertise. Actually, technically not. The first and foremost expertise is nutrition. It's nutrition. It's the whole medical thing. The GLP-1s are just we've been forced into expertise on that one because people needed it and what was out there wasn't satisfactory to those of us who needed providers. So we're there. That's what we do. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't see your posts. I was not on text. I was on here. But you got here. Thank you. Thank you for copying that from Slack. So, all right. Who we got? We got lots of people. So what questions do you guys have about lifestyle medicine, how to get better sleep, how to reduce stress? Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind. Today's not the day for that. Today's not the day to discuss that. But how to use your semaglutide. How's your tirzepatide? Interestingly, I need to do a video on what do you do if you're gaining weight on a GLP-1 because I kind of decided that, I think the scale has gotten to a point where we need to make some changes. So we did. We meaning me and the mouse in my pocket, right? Not Mickey. But I used my resources to get myself in a better spot yesterday. Whether it was stress wise, sleep wise, I kind of revamped some things. It was a holiday, so that was good. The kind of bad thing is it's a holiday, associated with the resurrection is also a holiday associated with chocolate. So is there every Jesus holiday? Does that have to be like candy? Is that a thing? Like, because
That's how we celebrate.
I'm like,
That's how he wanted us to remember him, I think.
right? And Jesus said, "Let there be chocolate." So I was raised Catholic, as an aside. The hot biker. That makes me laugh.
Still there. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. We got to chat. I got to click over. I don't know who's on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, I don't get a name unless it's a certain thing. So I don't know why. So tell me who you are on Facebook.
It's
probably
Sarah.
Linda.
Sarah
Is it Linda?
Sinkis. No, Sarah Sinkis is over there.
Oh, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Oh, Sarah, I did that interview. It's supposed to be on today at, I think, 6:00 Eastern on ABC 7 in Fort Myers. So let's hope for the best on that one.
Very cool.
Yes, because that was pretty neat. It was fun. The last interview I did for a Fort Myers radio station or TV station, I did one for radio last time I was there. I guess there are actually radio station interviews. Who knew? Beach Talk Radio it was. Before that, it was a TV interview on the turtles, on the turtle hatchings.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, not exactly my expertise, but hey, I learned a lot from Ranger Rob. I don't know if Ranger Rob's on here today, but if you are, go follow Ranger Rob. He makes awesome leather works too. That in my spare time, I am helping him get that website up, which means I'm not. Because in my spare time, I'm reading things. What are you doing, Neil?
That's
Are you
my hand
raising your
up.
hand?
I never got an invite for TikTok.
What?
Oh.
I sent it out a bunch of times. Hold
I
on.
don't have any of them. I'm literally on my phone looking.
Hold on. You're raising your hand. I never. Hold on. Let me see. Let me do it again.
I don't have
Courtney,
a raise hand function.
can you invite Neil?
I don't have enough yet. I have to do more lives before I
Oh,
can invite anyone.
all right. Hold on. Neil, make a comment so I can just grab you because I can't grab you otherwise. Hey.
Hey,
Invitation sent. It says invitation sent. I don't know exactly what that means. Did you get it?
I'm not
No.
seeing anything, but I'm waiting.
Are you are on the live, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm watching on my phone and the
Plus, I got to
PC,
turn
but
Neil up.
I get the invite only on my phone, and it's not happening today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
can't get TikTok on a computer, so phone it is, whatever. Bought a stand just for that, so.
I know. And I've gone through probably 6 stands.
Oh, this one isn't perfect, but it'll do. It'll work.
All right. So, okay. AMS Dr. Mo's team. Okay. So you're a top member. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Thanks. Unfollow. Nope. Wrong one. Cancel invitation. No, I
You
don't want to
cancel,
cancel.
resend it. I don't know.
Oh, wait. There we go. Hold on.
There we go.
There
Got it?
we go. Now we got
There he
Neil.
is.
So what you need to do, because we need to not have to go through this every stinking time,
Oh,
is go,
there we go.
you click on Neil Hyzak, FNP, that little round face right there. Okay, not that round face. Your face isn't round. Um, but the man without a voice on TikTok, click there and follow him so he can go live. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to know about? Oh yeah, what was I talking about? Um, it's not even breaking a stall, right? Because remember, I've been at a healthy BMI for over a year. So the last, I don't know, few months, I gained a few pounds and then it stuck, and then I gained a few more and then it stuck. And we know how this goes, right? This is a very familiar story for those of us who find me. So starting yesterday, well, starting today, actually. Yesterday, I just did a lot of work. But I have I have to have habit change, right? Because we know the things that cause us to gain weight. Yes, the medications help. I am on tirzepatide. I'm either on 5 or 7.5 this morning. Happy Monday. It was a 5. Um, but the habits matter. And I've said this from day one. I can overeat the drug. If I eat a lot of refined carbohydrates, AKA sugar, it's like I'm not even on it. Or my brain is so hell bent on quote unquote relief, ease and comfort, that I'm going for sugar even though I don't want it. It's making me physically sick on tirzepatide. So I've had to do a lot of work, and I've been doing the work. It's not like I'm not doing the work, but I had to do the work differently. And today I actually set some boundaries. I can no longer read, watch videos, or do anything else. There's no words, there's no YouTube, there's no anything when I eat. That was hard. I've done 2
Yeah.
meals so far, and I'm like, wow, this sucks.
Yeah, that's hard.
Because that's what I do. I usually work when I eat, right? Because it comes from like being in the ER. It just comes from life, right? I mean, as a
Yeah.
kid, I remember reading the cereal box because it's the only thing that was in front of me, because I'm huge on distraction when I eat. No longer is that acceptable for me. Dan Martell says to make 1,000-day plan, that if you show up and do the same things day in, day out, it will, in 1,000 days, which it makes it sound like, oh my God, that's forever. It's not. It's 3 years, right? Like, let's think about this. Every day, you got to show up every day. All right, that's my thing. And it's hard. And I can do things like talk to other people because it's social, right? But anyway, so that was one of the big habits that I changed today. So, because everywhere you read, it's about mindfulness. I'm like, I don't want to be mindful when I eat, right? Because
No, that's not. But I want to be. Yeah.
Like,
Well, we've always, I mean, we live busy lives, right? We're running around like crazy. Um, Especially work life in the ER. What do you do? Well, I need to catch up on these charts. That's a great time to grab my food. Let me grab my food while I catch up on these charts. I've got a little bit of downtime before I pick up a new patient. I need to catch up these things, dispo these people. So let me eat while I do that. Then, on days off at home, it's the same thing. Let me read this article because I don't have any other time to read this article. Let me read this article while I sit here and eat, or, let me
right.
type out a few messages while I sit here and eat or drink my lunch. Yes, I'm drinking lunch right now while I'm doing this because this is the time I
Because
do.
you're sitting down, and why not? And this is what we do.
Yeah.
We don't never do one thing at a time. Rena said it's hard to change bad habits and make new choices. It so is.
Yeah.
It so is. My OA sponsor says she calls it the cow path. Those cows have walked that path so many times. And I've got to start to, my word for 2024 was evolve. I've got to evolve into something different. And I'll tell you, it's funny because today, while I was making my kids' lunch and writing post-it notes not to use a certain burner on the stove because it doesn't work, my favorite burner doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? It's like getting me a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. I love adulting. Um, so I put a note because it doesn't work. But I'm making this, and I thought, you know what? I need to eat lunch because it's no longer meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, right? Because when I work nights all the time, I could justify eating whenever I felt like it. No, you need a routine. I ate breakfast this morning at 9:30. I ate lunch at 12:30, and I had a shake and some fruit because I told myself I don't eat anything like close to the ground in the morning. So let's eat it for lunch. Well, I ate it while I was making food. Do you know I was standing there looking at my Echo show, reading the news stories? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like my brain is searching for other things to do while I'm eating. Like, you gotta stop. Just sit down and eat. So yeah. I don't know what if I do. Yeah, I know, right? The favorite burner. The favorite
Yeah.
burner.
Everybody has one.
That's why the clicker went out. That clicker's tired. Let's see. What do we got comment wise? Yeah, it's all habits, right? I mean, that's the thing. First you make your habits and then your habits make you. So I also, one day at a time, gave up candy. Like, that's it. I can't.
During
It's just,
chocolate mini egg season?
well, we're done now. Believe me,
Yeah.
I ate mine and I ate yours. This is a romper room. I ate yours and I ate yours. I ate everyone's. And you know what? If you look at this, since Cadbury mini eggs came out, which was what, probably 35 years ago, I think in England. In England, they may have been out before, but when they crossed the pond, first time I tried them was in England. Oh dear God, they were so good. And they have them in vending machines and stuff, which was amazing.
Oh.
Oh yeah, right. Just what I need. And one more reason to go broke in the UK. But think about this. Over the past 35 years, give or take, I have eaten a lifetime's worth of mini eggs. I mean, that's really the only candy that I will be like, oh my God, I can't have those. But you know what? I got a year. And do I really need them? Like, really? So I did it. I wrote it down and I was like, nope, we're done with candy. At least for today, right? Just for today. And because I can't do it anymore. It makes me feel terrible. Like my quads hurt. Like my muscles hurt. I can't work out as well. Dude, that's a problem. You have a bit of a race coming up. So one day at a time. Electrolytes, actual real food, right? Imagine that. But much like a good addict, that's why I was reading on food addiction. If you guys saw that in the live thing, I was reading on food addiction because I was kind of looking at the differences between binge eating disorder and food addiction and where that spectrum like lies and stuff for my own sake, right? Because it's why you study is because I got to fix my shit. And I was looking at it. An addict will go for their substance or behavior of choice at the exclusion of all else. And I realized that eating non-nutritious calories was interrupting the way I think. Yep, totally. Oh, Sarah, I got your name now. Awesome. The way I think, the way I relate to family members, the clarity in my brain, my ability to work out. And I was like, I don't think this is such a good idea. But why do I keep doing it then? Well, because I think I'm addicted to it. And I know people there's all kinds of theories on food addiction. Right. Well, I don't need a theory. I just know the DSM-5 definition of addiction, and I kind of fit every damn one of them. So I'm like, I guess it's got to go. Okay. So it went. It went. And I had a good breakfast and I had a good lunch, and I'm really bored with food. I'm Neil. I'm bored with food. I'm like, I don't really care.
Oh, I want that.
Yeah. So, hey, one day, one meal at a time. Oh, yeah. And the third thing is I can't eat. What was it? I have it written down. I can't eat outside of mealtime by myself. So, like, if we're all going out for ice cream, that's different. But outside of meal times, I don't eat by myself anymore.
Boring.
Boring. Straight up.
Yeah. And then you actually have to like prepare food, like real food. That's
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah. Instead of just grabbing something out of the pantry.
Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah. The whole like, no one told you that for the rest of your life, every single day was going to be, what am I going to make for dinner? It's so
Yeah.
is.
You would have changed your mind as a kid. Like, I want to grow up. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is, have you ever watched Corey Dior on YouTube or Instagram or whatever? He has a thing where, as a kid, you're like, don't tell me what to do. And then you grow up and you're like, please give me a list of everything I need to get done.
Yes, please. And how to do it and in the correct order.
Yes. Yes. Hold on. I got to shut down. I think I got too many things up on I was doing actual work. So. All right, let me shut everything. We're shutting it all down. Oh, that's what it is. It's my music app is up. For what reason? I don't know.
And using all your bandwidth,
Right? I'm like, what?
all your RAM.
All my RAM. All my RAM. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of one day at a time happening here for sure. Okay, so what do we have? It's so funny because like everyone always asks, what about a stall? Shoot, I'd take a stall. I didn't want to lose anymore. I didn't want to gain it, but here we go again. But again, so think about this, right? I am used to having to lose weight. So did I subconsciously put myself in this situation because I don't know how to maintain, because I don't know how to create those habits, because I'm so used to yo-yoing that I was uncomfortable just sitting?
Not a fun thought, but
No, I mean, super not a fun thought.
You never thought about that way, that all that extra brain space that you used for like yo-yoing up and down and worry about diet, you don't really have to do.
Right. So did my brain actually say, nah, we can recreate this because you need this distraction?
yeah, because otherwise you have to face other problems. And who wants to do that? I know how to face the weight loss problem. I've faced that for 40 years, but
Yeah, I know how to do that one.
I don't want to do the other stuff. That's not fun.
No. And the cool thing is, this is my gratitude moment last night in the shower, that do my best thinking in the shower and on the toilet, right? But I thought, I feel bloated and gross at a weight that would have been a dream weight 2 years ago. Because it's not about the weight. It's about the behaviors that you're doing that got you to that weight. It's the mental anguish. It's the ugh, the non the non-nutritive cereal varnish. I'm sorry, I don't know why that came in my head. The nutrient bereft food, It's just, and it's out there. I mean, and it is, and we can talk about the food supply and why we are overweight. I get that. I am not one to dispute. Was that Maribel that just came on? I think Maribel came on and left. Did you just leave, Maribel? And food, and that's the thing. We have hyper palatable foods, right, that hijack our brains. I get that. Yes, there she is. I'm like, there's Maribel. We have hyperpel. I mean, Cadbury mini eggs are not meant for like eggs, right? Like they're not eggs. They're not real eggs. They're better. But it's just going to have to be relegated to that compartment of, a good port. I don't do that anymore either. But I can remember it fondly. Except for the sidewalk episode. But,
Woke up in a ditch.
yeah, it was fun before then. Right. It's all fun and games until you wake up somewhere you don't know where you are. Yeah, I mean, I bet it's an old pathway. So maybe by doing this and being vigilant and doing the things, right? Waking up, doing my readings, doing my journaling, doing all the things that I sometimes say I don't have time for. Well, if you don't have time for health, you better make time to be sick. I did not say that. I did not make it up. It's a quote by someone that I don't know who said it. But to quote Tony Stark, somebody important said it and I said it. So that's it. But we have lots of people and no questions.
I know.
Yeah, everybody, feel free to ask. Let's see. Shortages. That's all I see on Reddit is some people are having to drop all the way down to 5. That's all it's available. 2.5 and 5 in some places.
Wow.
So Neil, what do you think on when people are blaming for shortages? What are your thoughts?
Well, I've seen a couple different things. One, they're pissed off at Eli Lilly. And then they're pissed off at anybody who doesn't need to lose that much weight. I was reading a thread on a lady who's bigger, and she has a lot more weight to lose than other people. And she's mad at the people who don't have as much to lose, basically calling them lazy and they should eat less and move more. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what they can say to you.
Yeah. Whoa. That's a bit ironic.
Because it's harder to lose if you get at the bottom. So if you got this much weight to lose, it should be easier for you up at the top. So then you shouldn't take this drug because how about we just do this together?
Yeah, I was reading it and I reread it. And I'm like, what? You can't possibly be gatekeeping something that you're all going through. If you have 200 pounds to lose and they have 100, who's more worthy,
I have 10. I do compounded now anyway. I got to tell you about that too. I just joined. What are we talking about? We are talking about GLP1 meds, lifestyle crap, messy brains, and gas stove burners that don't work. No, that was just a random story. But yeah, we are healthcare providers, not medical advice, but we have fun chats. Thoughts on Eli Lilly pharmacy delivery system? So far, not impressed. Have had zero luck. Yeah, they're. I thought they would be the best because they're Eli Lilly direct. I don't know where they're direct from, but it ain't Eli Lilly.
My guess is they weren't ready for the demand, which is crazy. So they can't keep up. Because some people are, I read on Reddit there, same thing. They're like, I message and I haven't heard anything for like 2 weeks, Wow.
Yep.
They're just overwhelmed.
I have to address Michelle's comment because I am Michelle's comment today. Yep. Holy crap. So Sarah, this is a good thing if you're still on. I'm thinking about this because my brain is so used to the yo-yo and the excitement of, up and down, losing, gaining, like this has been a thing for me. This is part of my identity is losing weight. And I've lost that. Well, in the beginning, for Michelle, I lost pretty quickly and I had complete food apathy at the time. I did not feel blah because I was just so excited to like lose the weight and feel like a human being again and have brain space. But this past little bit, I have been eating a ton of sugar, right? Which is excitatory in my brain. And then you get the fall and then you need the more sugar and then you need the fall and then you do the thing, the usual. And today I haven't had any sugar, any processed sugar, right? Any added sugar, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to quibble over that. I have too much information in my head. When I say sugar, I mean like chocolate and stupid things I shouldn't be eating. And today I am so low, it's not even funny. I'm down and until I get my brain in a better space. So will that get better with time? The question is, I don't know. It depends what you do to change it, right? Time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. Effort changes wounds. Habit change changes wounds. Habit change makes things heal. Change in your thought processes. And yes, there is a lack of energy that comes along with tirzepatide. in the beginning, especially, which means you need to make sure you're hydrating with electrolytes. That's one of the big things that we see all the time. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that. And I mean, if it's simple food apathy, man, take it and run with it. Like, I never had that before. So it'd be great to kind of feel that again. And I do some days. But now, if it's just apathy regarding life, some of that is because we got a lot of endorphin hits from food. And when you can't hit those endorphins anymore, you got to find other sources. And that's not fun. Uh,
No, you got to
Nor
find
easy.
real sources like human
Right.
connection,
Yeah.
like relationships,
Yep. Like going
cleaning
out.
closets.
I'm jealous of your cleaning closets, but you know, going outside, enjoying the air, getting a nice walk, like things that we blunted before with food.
Well, right. Because food was my friend. Food
Hmm.
was my companion. Food was everything to me. Oh, we already got comments. I come on, I want to see them. I hate this. Is that what I've been cleaning out all the closets and organizing?
Maybe.
It could be because there's so much more brain space and so much more time in your day to like today even, right? Because so for those of you who missed the very beginning, and somebody said they're 5 pound Jessica, 5 pounds from goal, eating wild. Yeah. And I don't know if it's like as a self-sabotage because I didn't think about that until I was talking about it. So thank you guys for the therapy. Much appreciated. And but today I have so much time. Like because I'm not reading while I'm eating. I'm not watching YouTube. I'm not working. I'm not doing anything because I just ate, which is boring because my food's not exciting. And I was done and I was like, well, I got to do something else. Well, and then I had to do like other things, like work things, which is fine. But usually, like, I don't know, I've fallen back into that trap of using food for enjoyment and mood instead of just food. And it's a tough line, right? Because I'm not going to eat crap food that I don't like. I've had too many years of dieting to do that. Like, no, it's a hard no. Hold on. I almost deleted. Good job on the 17 pounds.
Way to go.
That's amazing. Yeah, Maribel said Eli Lilly's not responding to patients.
Yeah.
I think Neil's right though. They just didn't. When is my next shot today? Oh, Jessica's. Mine was this morning. But Neil, I think you're right. I don't think they were ready for the demand.
Mm-mm.
Which
They should have been.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. Novo Nordisk they can't get themselves together either, so whatever. The good news is the flip side. People keep asking, do you think the compounded will not be able to do their thing because it's going to go off a shortage? No.
No.
I'm on 10 milligrams of Zep, but don't want to move up for 5. I know, right? You don't want to move up, but the crazy brain is there. So yeah, that's why I had to do some habit change. I did move up last week. It didn't help. That's when I realized, all right, I got to, implement some other things. Like you got to go hardcore on behavior sometimes. And really it's just boundaries. It's not like I'm being super restrictive because I'm not. And I actually said yesterday, I need to go into my Fitness Pal, which is where I choose to log. Not sponsored, not anything. It's just habit for me. It's what I'm comfortable with, what I'm used to. But I told my sponsor, I need to go in there and make sure it is nutritionally sound. Make sure I'm not doing some stupid ass diet thing. And I did. It's a little bit teeny tiny bit below, but not much. Not really. It's really pretty much maintenance of where I'm supposed to be. And making sure my protein's at 100, making sure that those things are in there. And that's a big deal. But Neil, I want to tell you this morning.
Yeah.
Regular Manjaro burned like a son of a bitch.
It's weird. Was it cold? Like straight out the fridge?
Mm.
Okay.
But Link, remember, because Link last week hurt so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet it's my body's inflammation?
Oh, yeah. Good
Because
point.
everything hurts. Like my quads hurt. Like
Weird.
everything hurts. Can you believe that? I was pissed. I was like, damn the Cadbury mini eggs. 20 pounds from my goal and haven't been able to get my Manjaro for the past month, gained 4 pounds. I gained 4 pounds on it if it makes you feel any better. No, this isn't about, who's more miserable for sure.
And my guess is you didn't put on 4 pounds of fat. My guess is you're eating a little bit more, and a lot of it's water weight that, because your carbohydrate stores are refilling in your muscles, and that will go away when you get back off on it.
Right. Well, the thing is too, depends on your plan, because if you can't get Zepbound, you can't get Manjaro, and you're not comfortable with compounded, do you go metformin and naltrexone? I was like, wait, naloxone, naltrexone. For some reason, sometimes in my brain it gets real messy in there. I'm like, which one? But do you do something else, right? Somebody on Reddit was saying that they were on phentermine as a temporary measure. That I would not ever recommend on a med channel or not. But like, what do you do in the meantime, especially if you have crazy food noise, right? Because, and you're right, Neil, it's not like I didn't gain 10 pounds of, probably not, fat. I don't think I did.
No, you have to eat, like, let's say 3 pounds. You have to eat an extra, or 5 pounds? Let's say 5 pounds. Extra 15,000 calories.
Yeah.
That's a couple tubs of ice cream. It's a pizza, and some burgers. Did you eat all that in one night? Probably not. So it's not fat.
Did I eat all that in 3 months though?
Maybe. Like an extra? It's possible.
It's likely. God, my brain's a jerk.
Let me hit Beach Mama here. So how long will it take to become a patient and receive compound prescription from Beach Mama? We can get you pretty quick. I put our website on there, amstelehealth.com. You click on it, click become a patient if you're in one of our states. If not, if you scroll down a little farther, we have Maribel in California and somewhere else. Can't think of it.
She's got like 13 states or something silly.
Yeah. And or Nikki Baldwin. So we have someone to kind of cover every state there is if you can't come with us. Otherwise, we can get you email in today. That's still pretty early. Get you
Maribel.
Thanks.
Get you started, and if not, order today, order tomorrow, and then shipped out. Depending on which company and state you're in, some are really quick. Get you.
Some you could have it by Wednesday.
In a couple days.
Yeah.
It's Monday, so maybe by the end of the week you'd have meds.
Yeah, like seriously, like real fast.
Yeah.
So some do get weight loss on Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin is half of Contrave, not half, but a component of Contrave, and we will use Wellbutrin. We split up the Contrave because it's expensive. So we'll have it from compounding pharmacies if you want an easy way to do it that's a little less expensive, or because it's like $30 a month. I think it's like $1 a pill. I think if you do it,
it's $1. Yeah, it's $1 a pill. But if you ramp up just like they do with Contrave, it starts to get really expensive. I think it's about $45 a month if you're paying cash to do naltrexone and Wellbutrin. If you're using like GoodRx or like whatever place's little coupon code, because you're splitting that naltrexone into 4 pieces, and the Wellbutrin you're taking like an SR like twice a day.
Yeah, so we can do it in an inexpensive fashion. Krista asked, what are the concerns with doing the compound?
None.
Neil, none.
We have none.
We have none. And we have had some pharmacy issues in the past. That's why we don't work with those pharmacies, or we have worked with the pharmacies to say, hey, listen, you got to fix this. This is a problem. Which is a really nice thing, right? If I write Eli Lilly and say, you really got to fix your supply, they don't listen. They don't care. Yeah. Or, hey, you know what? This isn't clear on your labeling. Could you improve this, please? Eli Lilly. I mean, granted, God love them. And I do love them. They saved my life. So there's that. But so we don't have any concerns with compounded. In 2012, there was a bacterial meningitis dealy with intrathecal. Well, I don't want to use medical words. Injecting steroids into your spinal fluid that were contaminated. So now compounding pharmacies are much more regulated than they were 12 years ago. That's why we've lost a few. We've lost a lot.
Yeah, and it's little simple things. Like one of them got shut down because someone opened a door that shouldn't have opened a door while they were doing the the inspection. No, it wasn't dirty meds. It wasn't bad tests. It's literally a door that shouldn't have been opened.
Mm-hmm. It was a process problem.
And it's not just compounding. Novo Nordisk got shut down for a while because they had a dirty sample, so they had to clean everything and stop production and throw everything they had away. So it is
Jeez.
not just a little guy.
Yeah. Well, Novo Nordisk unfortunately had essentially hackers, right? I don't know what you would call them, but essentially like drug hackers inject is a bad word, insert Ozempic pens, counterfeit Ozempic pens with insulin in them into the medical supply.
Wow.
So, and that's in the US, and we pay a boatload of money for all this regulation, and they still snuck in there, right? That's why I liken them to hackers, right? They're like identity thieves. And that, I mean, that can kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, and that wasn't a little compounding pharmacy. At least the compounding pharmacies know where it's like it's a, what do you call it? Chain of command. It's a very it's a close chain of command, whereas, you know, when things get big, things get messy. So
I want to hit this one. Paradise up above a little bit,
yeah.
saying they knew and created the need. I think with talking about the shortage, I don't think Eli Lilly wants this shortage.
No.
Maybe initially with the Monjuro, I believe it, but now they want people. Everybody knows about it. Everybody wants it. They don't want like people going to get it from compounding pharmacies. They want everybody on their brand name stuff.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, right, because I was thinking about this the other day, there's the articles that came out that, hey, it takes $5 to produce or whatever. You know, even if you add the pen in, fine, 50. Charge $200, make a shit ton of money. They can't, because they can't make it fast enough. They cannot make it fast enough for an effective drug.
Like, my understanding, it's not the med itself, it's the stupid pens.
But even the pens don't cost $2,000.
No, just making them, manufacturing them and testing them and making sure they work versus everybody wants, and apparently there's an April Fool's going around about it, they want it in a little self-dosing vial.
Yeah, well, they do that in the UK, but we overdose here, so we don't.
Yep.
But we do sell Costco-sized bottles of Tylenol, where in the UK they're in blister packs, so you can't kill yourself with it, which I think is fabulous. You know, so the drugs you can kill yourself with, they restrict, and the drugs you can't, they don't, which I think is great. Kind of makes sense, right? But whatever. The UK also gave us Cadbury mini eggs, so life is good. So somebody said, is it okay to do compound just during the shortage? Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, your insurance covers. My Lord, Vicky, where's your insurance and where do you live?
I know. Jealous.
Jealous.
So jealous.
We're jealous. We're not jealous of anybody, but we're jealous of that.
Vicky, we even have patients like that, like they're on like 12.5 and can only get 7.5. So they bought some compounded and they're taking 7.5 of the brand stuff and 5 milligrams of the fake stuff. We'll call it the non-branded, and to make it up for it. So it's a little cheaper than buying 12.5 milligrams of compounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, get whatever you can find and supplement if need be. Because tirzepatide and tirzepatide are the same, right? So say, for example, you had Mounjaro pens in your fridge that you didn't use because you went up in dose. And then you can get a lower dose of Zepbound, and you take, say you're on 10 and you take a 5 of Zepbound and a 5 of Mounjaro, that is 10 milligrams of tirzepatide. We have no problem with that. Where we do pitch a fit is if we find out our patients would ever take semaglutide and tirzepatide together, that's immediate firing from our practice.
Yeah.
Or if they're telling people to do that. That's a stack. That's a stupid, life-threatening idea. That is not, don't overdose yourself. And again, this is management with your provider, right? Like your provider. I'm not your provider, even if we are your providers, but not on TikTok. Not on the YouTube. But your provider will be telling you, yes, it is okay to take 5 milligrams of tirzepatide plus 5 milligrams of tirzepatide equals 10 milligrams of tirzepatide. I feel like a 5th grade word problem, math problem. But in some ways, I don't know who that is on Facebook because I can't see.
Yeah, it's Rachel.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm on 12 and a half and 15. I can't or 15. So double the 7.5. Perfect. Right. Like and for those of us, I mean, think about this, right? And I say this all the time about the patient who said eons ago, these drugs aren't magic. They make the impossible merely difficult, right? Think about this, guys. I made this change, this 1,000-day change, period. I couldn't make the change before. No matter how much work I did, no matter how much journaling I did, no matter how much talking to people and meetings and things, I could not make the change. Was it difficult to make the change today? Yeah, I'm apathetic and really down. I'm in sugar withdrawal, frankly, which is super fun. But I don't care because I know the other side, and I see pictures of myself on the other side, and I see the difference in my face. And I'm like, nope, that's what I want, what she has. And that she is me. I couldn't make this change without that drug.
Mhm.
And that I'm forever grateful. And if people, and you know what, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? And I might get flagged for that, but we'll see. Um, my opinion is that this drug might not be life threatening if I don't get it, but it is certainly sanity threatening if I don't do the things that support it and continue to take a reasonable dose.
Krista's asking, how do I get compounded? Where do I start? So if you're in one of our states, if you go to amstelehealth.com, you can scroll down and see the states that we cover. If you are not in one of our states, keep scrolling down. There's Maribel Campos and Nikki Baldwin that will cover all the rest of the states.
Yep. Yeah. Jessica said she keeps continuing even if I have slip ups.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine last night. I'm like, I hate failure. And she's like, you didn't fail.
No.
You're still here changing. You're still here improving.
Yeah.
Failing is giving up. Slow and steady is sustainable. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with these meds that, and a lot of it's coming out with the addiction research and such, but there's a lot. There's a lot. It's exposing a lot of things in myself in particular that I'm not happy with. Okay, go.
Jenna's asking if she can join for a second. I'm guessing she wants to hop on the live.
Yes. And Krista asked if you could say the website again. So could you type it in? And it is amstelehealth.com. And Neil will type it in for me. Hold on, Jenna. I got to find you.
I put an @ to you, Christy, but I'll type it in one more time.
There we go. Hold on. There we go. Yep. Weight loss is not linear. We did not gain this overnight. We're not going to lose it overnight. Slow and steady is okay. Yep. No, I agree 100%. Lost a shit ton of weight very quickly when I started. Guess what? I have fought for the last 20 pounds that I've lost of my 80 for a year. I was going to say, how long did it take you to lose? 20 pounds in a year, it doesn't sound like much, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 60 pounds in the first 3 months. But the other 20 pounds that I have lost has taken me more than a year. And that's encouraging, I think, for people. I think that's super encouraging for people. And that can be encouraging, but what I want friends to remember, though, is here's the thing. I started with 315 pounds. I started as someone who's got rheumatoid arthritis, who's also diabetic, which are, guess what, as we all both know, inflammatory diseases. The biggest majority of what I lost, especially my first month, was inflammation in water. And I know that. Am I happy it's gone? It damn straight I am. But I also know that, and don't get me wrong, I'm frustrated. I have been stalled for months, but guess what? These meds have my rheumatoid arthritis in remission, according to my rheumatologist. Oh, that's amazing.
That's good.
Under control at 5.1. So even if I never lose a right. It's not just about the weight.
Let's see. Oh.
Sorry, Courtney. What'd you say, Courtney?
No, I was raising my hand.
Oh. You guys are so funny. Courtney's raising her hand. But thank you, Jenna. I can't tell you how much I will expand upon that later for sure after we grab Courtney's comment and then Maribel's comment.
So that's one thing I've gotten a lot this week is how much weight can I expect to lose on either of these medications? We've gotten a lot of that this week from our patients or prospective patients. And two, I've only lost 5 pounds this month, especially starting out. So how much weight can you expect to lose? Everybody's going to be different on those very early doses. Some people don't
0 to 15.
Some people don't find a lot of weight loss. Some people do. For most of us, well, for all of us, we did not gain this weight in a month, in a year, in 6 months. So we cannot rush the process. These medications do work. We've had like one complete non-responder to one of the medications out of a lot of patients that we've treated. Trust the process, get there. If we encourage you to increase your dose, if your provider encourages you to increase your dose, it's because that is probably what's needed. It's not to make you pay more money. The other thing is I've only lost 5 pounds. 1 to 2 pounds a week is actually considered pretty rapid weight loss. So even if you're only losing, let's say 2 pounds a month, that's half a pound a week. That's 25 pounds in a year. If you're losing 1 pound a week, that's 52 pounds in a year. That's huge. Even 25 pounds in a year is pretty huge. When is the last time you were able to do that? And for most of us, the answer is never.
Or we could, and then we couldn't.
And we gain it. I mean, I don't know how many times I lost and gained the same 20 pounds, countless.
Right. And then they just started to bring their friends, which was really annoying.
Yeah, every time.
So Maribel said, or when patients get meds from different providers. Yeah, we find you're doing that in our practice.
Yeah.
You're out. And you're not welcome back. Like, you have to be honest with us. I mean,
you have to be able to trust me, and I have to be able to trust you.
Exactly. I mean, that's a human thing, right? Like, that's okay. That's an interesting thing. I don't get on here and make things. First of all, if I made things up, I would make up way better stories. But I don't get on here and make things up to like try to get patients. The patients that need us will find us. The patients that can resonate with one of us will find us. And the patients that understand that we care about patients will find us. That's kind of it, But we also don't want, and some of our patients have had what some would consider not appropriate reasons to do this, right? They were honest with us, and I loved that. Like, hey, like, here's the thing. My weight's normal, but I struggle to keep it that way. I can't handle this. So, yeah. Neil, can you do that math for Kareem?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's yeah.
Because I can't. I'm not math.
Yeah, let me figure it out real quick.
No, and that's it. Of course we hope, right? In the beginning, I lost 15 pounds in the first month and pissed everybody off. But again, I was eating like I was eating now. So, like, not now, yesterday.
Yeah, 80 and 172.
Like everything I could. Yeah, open to trying other. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yeah, no, you know what? And I'm grateful for all of our patients because. Okay, so Kath, that's a good question. I've been on Zepbound for 16 weeks and have lost 3 pounds. I'm on 10 milligrams. Would I continue to go up? Yes, 100% yes. Absolutely. We have people that do not lose until they are at the highest weight loss dose at 15 for like 3 months. And then finally that breakthrough happens. And I truly think it is long-term metabolic repair where your systems have to start to correct themselves. I didn't have a lot of metabolic derangement per se. I have a lot of crappy brain pathways. And I did have some metabolic pathways that were not measurably problematic. Like I didn't have high insulin sensitivity or low insulin sensitivity on my labs. I just had high cholesterol. So there are things like that couldn't be measured in numbers, but how do I know that I have had metabolic repair? Because when I do overeat because of my stupid brain, my body doesn't suffer as much. So
two things. Yeah, Kareem, BMI is 27. So if you have other comorbidities, like high cholesterol, or high blood pressure, yeah, that's considered overweight at BMI of 27. So if you want to get to a healthy BMI, we would put you on meds.
Yep.
And I'm going to add on what you said. In addition to like maybe going up, the other thing, we want to make sure that everything else is in place to kind of make you be successful. Make
It's
sure you
big
get
rock
your
time.
protein intake in, all our pillars. Get your protein. For women, it's usually around 100 grams of protein. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids with electrolytes in them, because you're not getting them from eating anymore. You're moving. So light exercise. If that's all you can do is walk, that's fine. You got to start somewhere. Get enough sleep. We like 7 hours of sleep a night, and decrease in stress, because if you have high stress and cortisol elevates, you will not lose weight. Makes it very difficult. Did I forget anything?
No.
Hydration.
Hydration. We
Did
got
you say
hydration. Electrolyte drinks.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say don't go up that fast. And I agree with that. If people, opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one. Now, those are medical opinions too, right? Now we can say in the studies, they were advanced by month.
Yeah.
We don't recommend that. Can you take it away? Well, no.
No.
Not really. No, yes, we can. No, but that's where the journaling comes in. The journaling, the talking to your people, the making sure you're doing the things, the daily readings. In the studies, it was 4 weeks per dose. In real life, as my example, I was on 2.5 milligrams of tirzepatide for 3.5 months because it was working. And then I went up to 5, that 99% of the shots, for a year and a half. And now occasionally I have to go up to 7.5 because my pillars are not standing. Stress was too high. Sleep was poor. We really, well, instead of the protein, it's the diet quality, right? Because that's really what it is. It's the diet quality pillar. My diet quality was terrible and I wasn't hitting my protein. So either or, because you can't hit your protein and have crap diet quality. It doesn't work. Did each dose for at least 3 months, but now I switch around a lot, currently on 10. Yeah. Yeah. So it really just depends. And now with the shortages, and if your insurance covers, or if you're not comfortable with compound, you have to get what you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amy's asking if it's 4 weeks per dose. It really, really depends. For some of our patients on compounded, they'll do 2 weeks at 2.5, have no appetite suppression, and we can kind of go up right away. I mean, if you do brand, you're kind of stuck with that dose.
Yeah, in the beginning, when there was no shortage of Manjaro, if you wanted to go up early, you could use the coupon early even. But that is no longer. That ship has sailed.
Yeah, the other thing I've seen on Reddit is people are getting their first box of meds and not taking it until they're ready for a refill. So they don't, like, because of the shortages. So they'll wait a month just in case.
Oh.
But
I
some
couldn't
people have
wait that
done
long.
that, and
I
they
was in
still
dire
can't find
straits.
it. What's that?
Like, I couldn't wait that long. Like,
Yeah.
I got the meds because I was dying. So
Yeah. And unless the shortages clear up, which in our experience, they may clear up for a brief period of time, but not for a long period of time. At some point, the shortage is going to catch up with you. Even if you wait a month and make sure you can get that next box, like at some point, things catch up.
Amy said she's on 5 or 0.5 of Ozempic. It's a terrible thing to miss that decimal point. That was bad of me. Second week and no appetite suppression anymore. Should I move up? Yep. Yeah, 0.5 for Wegovy. I'll say Wegovy because if you're looking for appetite suppression, it's technically a Wegovy thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on 0.5 of semaglutide, that's a low dose. The weight loss doses aren't even
1.7, 2.4.
the supposed weight loss doses are 1 point, like Jenna said, it's 1.7 and 2.4. So if you get it lower, bonus. If not, you got to go up. Oh yeah, what's the difference between compound and name brand? You guys can take it.
Cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price and availability.
Yeah.
The brand,
you can get it.
Yeah. The brand name comes in a what we call stab and jab pen, which makes dosing really, really simple and easy. Well, except brand name Ozempic sometimes it's a little janky, but otherwise, compound medication is made what we call in-house by a licensed pharmacy. They take the base chemical compound of the medication, mix it with an additive, put it in a vial, and you draw up the dose with a syringe. Whereas at the pharmacy, it comes in a dose per box, except Ozempic, which gets a little bit weird on a couple of the doses, and it comes in a pen that you just
If
turn the
people
dial.
overdose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, that's the main difference. Some people are
Yeah.
not as comfortable with compound because it is made by a smaller pharmacy and it is made in house and it is not made by a big trade name company like Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk. Um, we can go more in depth on what compound pharmacies are.
And compound pharmacies are around for a lot of reasons. I mean, they make a ton of pet meds. They make kid meds without certain additives. So if your kid's got an allergy and you need like a certain medication that only comes with this certain dye in it over the counter or at a regular pharmacy, the compounding pharmacy can make you that base chemical. They take the base chemical and combine it with something else and provide it to you so your kid can safely take it. Things like that. And they're allowed to make these medications in shortage, especially to make them more available to the public. Thank God. Yeah, Kareem was talking about during the pandemic, gained a little weight and doesn't seem to leave. Happens with age too, and it's not really necessarily age as in like our metabolism slows, our activity level slows. As we start getting, we have different obligations. We work more, especially during the pandemic. We worked more from a chair like this. Um, some people traveled more, just away from the kitchen more, away from their desk more. Um, so Ron asked, what are we hearing about the supplies on Manjaro? End of April still? Is it
Last time I checked, it said end of
the
March,
beginning of
which,
April?
well, we're
Now.
past there.
Yeah.
So I've not seen an update.
Okay. So there's still April Fools. There are no shortages.
Uh-huh.
Well, and I think we talked about this last time. Okay, so if the company clears up the shortage on their end, it's still a matter of time. Like if they release a press release that says there are no more shortages, it still takes a matter of time before what the stock that they've built up gets to the distributors and then gets to your local pharmacy. So even if they clear up their supply shortage, it would take some time before the local pharmacies could clear up their shortage.
So there's an article 9 hours ago on Eli Lilly's obesity drug may face shortage issue in the United States. Here's why. Fraudulent copycats are increasing as well. Ooh. Okay, that's an interesting thing. When we talk compounded, we're not talking the ones that, like I said, the counterfeit Ozempic that made it into the market that actually wasn't Ozempic. It was insulin. We're not talking that.
Bob's peptides.
Bob's peptides, right?
Yeah.
Or
Or there's a
whatever.
lot of companies that advertise that we can get you brand name quote unquote for this price when in fact it's a compound medication and we will never freely interchange those names.
No, Zepbound is Zepbound.
Mhm.
Manjaro is Manjaro. Period. End of story. Like there is no, and it's just yeah. Period. So they're saying the safety in March this year, Lilly alerted patients to the safety risks of using compounded or counterfeit. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Big difference.
Yeah, yeah. There's a difference between counterfeit saying, "Oh no, this is Manjaro." No, it's not. It is the base chemical combined with something else that is at the moment a suitable alternative because we cannot get the brand names of medications. If I could get Zepbound for a reasonable price, would I choose Zepbound over compounded? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, but you can't get it, number one, and it's not particularly reasonable.
No, the only reason they should be making that statement about not using compounded if there is plenty of supply,
Correct.
and there's not.
And
Now, the
and
counterfeit should never be used.
no,
Ever.
no.
No, that's a different animal. And you're welcome, Ginger.
Amy's having to unfortunately go to Canada to get her Ozempic because of price. Did you have any problems getting it? There was a period where you could not prescribe it into Canada. They wouldn't let you ship it out.
Yeah, we won't prescribe to Canada any longer.
Yeah, the Ministry of Health or said something that, and they took a doctor's license that was doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, we won't. We don't feel comfortable doing that any longer.
Oh, and here we go. Let me address this. Angie is saying that she heard the FDA approved the single dose vials for Zepbound. which should help with the supply. My understanding is that's an April Fool's joke, so until I hear it tomorrow, I won't believe it. I hope it's true.
That's a shitty joke.
It sure is.
That's bad.
On week 2 of tirzepatide on 5 milligrams and experienced severe GI side effects. What does this mean? Well, it could mean you have stomach cancer, or it could mean your dose is too high. So it depends on what the side effect is. It depends what your provider says, first of all. This is not medical advice. But you got to remember, we are emergency medicine trained. We think worst case scenario first.
It could also be what you ate.
Or it could just be Whole Foods meatloaf.
Or pizza or chicken casserole or something that you've eaten every day of your life, and now all of a sudden you can't eat scrambled eggs for breakfast.
Which totally happens. Like all of a sudden I can't eat this. I'm like, what is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
Yeah. Doctor sends the script to Canada and they convert it to a Canadian script. And we used to.
We used to until the Ministry of Health started taking people's licenses away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying your doctor's wrong.
No.
They just have bigger testicles than I do. I don't skirt issues like that though. I don't like it. Period. I just don't. I don't feel comfortable with it. And that's why, like, we won't tell you, like, oh, you have to do this compounded thing. It's the best thing ever. No, if you're not comfortable with it, we don't do it. My thought is they worry too much about overdose and misuse with the vials. Well, I don't think they'd worry about it if people didn't do it. So, and here's an example. Somebody, TT Marie said, I've been at compound semaglutide for 16 months, full syringe. I've been at a stall for 4 months. This happens a lot. I don't know what a full syringe is. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the concentration is. Here's a better example. Our new pharmacy had a mislabeling on one of the labels that I had to go back and forth 5 times with to get an answer on what their actual concentration was. So that's why people overdose on Ozempic pens, because clicking is hard. I mean, it's not a grab and stab, you know? I mean, you grab the pen, you stab it, it's in, you're done. It's 0.5 mLs or 0.75 if you're on Wegovy or certain doses.
And our patients have really quick access to us to confirm doses, and we still have errors, despite us saying, your dose is going to be different. Please read the label. Please send us a picture of the label. We will get back to you very, very quickly with any, and it still happens because it's hard. It's a difficult thing to think about milligrams versus milliliters versus units versus how much do I draw. It is confusing.
It's very confusing. And, you know, like when I was saying this about that pharmacy a couple lives ago, I had a listener kind of call me out. You're a doctor and you can't figure this out. No, the dose is wrong on the label. I can do numbers sometimes with a calculator. Don't get me wrong. Some days are rough.
What's crazy is that they had, I'm sure, how many pharmacists look at that number and still math it wrong.
And that's why I was like, and all of a sudden I got freaked out because, dude, I injected it. And if I had injected 15, do you know what that would have been like?
Great time.
Well, I wouldn't have eaten the mini eggs, probably.
Yeah.
There's that.
Not until next Easter. Jesus.
Not until ever.
You would have them left over like me, sitting in the pantry.
Whatever. Thank you, Jerry, for saying our response is always amazing. So Maribel, Up to Date used to recommend providers prescribe to Canada during shortages. 15 is not bad. Oh, for me, I don't do well. I'm pretty sensitive unless I'm totally pounding the sugar, yeah, I know. See, Benny said so too. 15 for me would have been really pretty bad. To go from, normally I do 5. But so Maribel, on that, that's crazy. I mean, we used to prescribe to Canada. Mm-hmm. Until it was a Texas doctor who lost his license. So, and it may not be the same anymore, but I don't really go back on stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever revised that, but it's.
Yeah, and that's what they do is they literally have a Canadian pharmacist rewrite it. That doesn't really feel comfortable to me either. Like if I can't prescribe it there, is it okay? Like, is that okay? Like, I don't know. Why did the doses have to increase? Well, they don't.
They don't necessarily.
Nope.
Well, initially these meds were made for glycemic control. So they had to increase to get better glycemic control or blood sugar control. The reason the doses are low and they escalate is because you had to adapt to the medication, the side effects of it. Because if you started at, let's say, a high, like a 7.5 of Monjuro, most people are probably going to be pretty sick and stop the medication. So they start really low and titrate it up so you can handle the side effects. And then when they get to a certain point, they kind of watch your blood sugars. And if it's doing well at 7.5, that's your dose. If you need a little more, 12.5 might be your dose to get good sugar control. Do you ever prescribe above 15 milligrams of tirzepatide?
Mm-mm. No.
Not until they do a study on it.
Yeah, now till somebody actually studies it. No, but we will add metformin. We will make sure you're hitting your well, we can't make sure you're hitting your protein, right? Nobody's in your house. Nobody's in the pantry with you. But we will encourage appropriate movement, cleared by your doctor, of course, all the things. Electrolytes, movement, stress reduction, 7 hours or more of restorative sleep a night, all the things. By the way, I happen to be on a Canada website, the Canada Health Service. Manjaro Canada shortage is anticipated to resolve between April 15th and July 1st. And Trulicity,
just a small window.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And then supposedly Novo Nordisk is fine. And that's just a shortage thing that was not so yeah, Ontario's limiting to doing the same thing we are, diabetes only instead of diabetes plus. Well, that's the thing, because yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I can't find it. I want to see if we can find a statement, Yeah, that was last year, same time. Everything was.
My guess is that because there's still such a shortage on Ozempic that they're not going to lift that ban.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and like I said, maybe your doctor doesn't know. Maybe I just don't feel comfortable.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, the highest dose we prescribe is 15 milligrams for Manjaro. Same that's been tested.
Yeah.
We had heard when they went to the what they call Zepbound or the weight loss version that we might see some higher doses, but we have not seen those.
Yeah.
There was a question above about is increased LDL in second year of tirzepatide a thing? Not that we've seen, not with myself, not with Neil. Your numbers were great.
Amazing.
Yeah, my husband's numbers on GLP1 are great. My numbers have been great. No, have not.
And I think the question is too, what are you eating?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when people diet, you can increase your LDL by certain dietary patterns. So that would be part of it. I don't know if Manjaro can counteract those changes either. So it's, it's a multifactorial thing, but in the studies, the answer is no. It lowers LDL.
Mary got put on Victoza because insurance won't cover Ozempic anymore. It doesn't work. Any suggestions?
Are you on the highest dose? That's the first question. Make sure you moved up. Don't just try it and say it doesn't work, because you got to start from the bottom, which sucks.
And it takes some time to build up in your body.
I gotta look it up. Sorry, I don't
ever prescribe that one.
Me either. I'm like, I gotta look it up.
I don't remember the doses.
Okay, so I have Victoza up to 1.2 milligrams once daily. So, well, let me look at this. How high does Saxenda go?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Saxenda's up to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's at max dose. I mean, and if we could, so the options would be like if you're with us, is we move to compounded medication if that's a possibility for you. The other option would be to add things, and it depends on, are you still just really hungry all the time, or is it cravings? And then it kind of relates to what we would put you on, if not both, but like metformin helps with appetite control. And naltrexone helps with those thoughts of snacking, kind of help curb that. Sweet cravings. I would probably look towards naltrexone if it's sweet cravings. and or both. Try
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
and then add on the second one if it's just not enough.
Yeah. Sometimes metformin taken at the right time of day can make me
Yeah.
so full that even the thought of sugar doesn't matter because I can't get it in. Not every day, but all
Oh,
right.
Krista's confused on the website. If I'm in California, do I click on the button under your pick, Dr. Mo? So for there, you need to click um,
Maribel.
on Maribel Campos. She does California. We are not currently licensed in California.
I'm gonna try to make that wording clearer.
Okay. And then, yeah, Jen Adams is correct. Besides keeping up with protein, what can I do for hair loss? Biotin. Everybody kind of swears by biotin to kind of keep that hair. But some people lose hair and some people don't. Technically, in any kind of rapid weight loss in general, you have the potential for hair loss. Just because you're not getting that protein in, you're not getting the calories in, your body decides to put all the vitamins, minerals, and energy towards other processes other than hair.
I don't know how to make this clearer. I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. I think we missed one on Facebook. If she's still there. Yeah, Brittany was saying she took a break and finally dropped the weight. I don't know what the hell happened, but I guess I needed to quit for a bit. It
We've
depends
been
on how
hearing that
high.
more and more lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one the other day. So they stopped the metformin and thought they had better control after stopping.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I mean, if it works for you, great.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Yeah, we're not married to a certain drug. We're not married. Now,
Mm-mm.
we do read the studies and we know that across populations, certain drugs work better. If you're like, dude, I know the studies say tirzepatide works better, but semaglutide is way better for me, then okay, let's go
Yeah.
and do that. Like, if we don't. Or people say, can you prescribe other drugs other than these two drugs? Yeah. Well, like Saxenda. If Saxenda is covered for you, then great, we'll do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So
Here we go. Thoughts on Rebelsis? I haven't seen much success.
neither has anybody else.
Nope.
Nope. So, I mean, if your insurance covers it, great. It still has some effect on it. But my guess is they cover that. They cover other things too. If I was paying out of pocket for it, I would absolutely choose the once a week shot over Rebelsis every day. The shots overall are more successful, so I would definitely choose them. Even if cost wasn't the problem. Rachel's asking, week 3 and weight is up and down every day. Zepbound 2.5. Yeah,
Go
that's
up.
pretty normal, Rachel. Keep track of it and trend it. Like, so kind of at the end of the month, after 2 months, just kind of look at it and you'll see it's kind of likely going down. You'll have ups and downs. It's not abnormal to have 1 to 3% of your body weight change, and it's just water that kind of goes up and down, or your gut contents. After you poop, maybe that you'll weigh a little bit less, but a lot of times that's all it is. Oh, Vicky lost 15 pounds on Rebelsis, but it was pretty much hell for 3 months. Lol. What was hell about it, Vicky? Was it just like the side effects? Was it that you have to take it and not eat for 30 freaking minutes in the morning, which sucks? That's what I hate with my stupid thyroid medicine. No coffee, no caffeine, no food for 30 minutes.
Ugh.
Rachel's asking, it's weird. The more I eat, the more I lose, but I struggle to get more than 16 to 1700 calories a day.
I think that's hitting the sweet spot. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the issue where you're too tired otherwise. That's my gut because starve mode's not a thing, but if you're super tired and super depleted, it's a thing. Like you're tired.
Vicky, who had hell with Rebelsis, was so sick every day, whether I ate it or not. No matter what I did, I was sick.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Did you increase dose, or were you like stuck at the lowest dose for all that time? Because it's possible you just needed to stay at the lower dose longer. I know they really try to get you to ramp it up. Claudia, lowest dose. Wow.
Yeah, then it's just not your drug.
Nah, you should, yeah. By then, you should. After a couple months, you should be adjusted to it. Yeah, it's not for you.
Okay. Who was that? Hold on. Okay, I'm so sorry I don't remember the name. Why can't I do this? Whoever was confused on the website, check it now and see if it's better.
Okay.
I want
It was,
real-time feedback here.
I think it
I
was
tried
like
to make it super
Krista.
clear. I added because in the
Yes.
second become a patient button at the bottom, I put check our states above. So that way it's a mental cue to go up and look at the states right there because it's all in one big blurb above, but on the bottom it gets confusing. So I'm hoping that's better.
Yeah, it was Krista Lewis. Now, Vicky,
Thank
have
you.
you switched to another medication, like a compounded medication or anything, after dealing with Rybelsus for 3 months?
Yeah, and we've actually said, and we've had patients who don't do well on one of the meds intentionally start super low on um like semaglutide or tirzepatide compounded so they can really kind of increase and not microdose. We're gonna let that go. Um,
Is she
but
back?
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
haven't seen
know.
a message from her.
No, we need to put her on on that other list.
No.
The new list, the you're not
Yeah.
welcome back list.
I had to switch doctors when mine went listen to me. I found a new doc in for Aunt Monjaro. Oh,
Good.
Good.
Okay.
I'm hoping Monjaro's doing much better for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Let's see.
real.
Let me address Claudia. On week 10 of tirzepatide, on 7.5 milligrams and 3 pounds lost. Only 3 pounds lost? So, is what you're saying on all 10 weeks of the medication? I mean, it's
Well, and
possible
how's
it's
your
just not.
appetite suppression? How are your side effects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like when doctors don't listen.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
you need to go. Well, now here's the thing, like, are you hydrating? Are you moving? How's your stress level? I do this when I say stress level because it helps me calm mine down when I talk about it. But again, it's cues, right? It's producing these cues in your brain. But how's your stress level? How's your sleep? Are you getting 100 grams of protein in 50 grams before noon? Are you hydrating with at least one electrolyte drink a day? And are you moving? Are you walking around the block, getting outside in nature, taking a deep breath? Doing a couple squats here and there. Use that weight. I'm not saying squats are for everybody. And I'm not saying like 400-pound squats. I'm saying we got extra body weight. Might as well freaking use it. Using
Oh.
all the things and go up.
Yeah, is your appetite suppressed at all at that dose?
Because Courtney, when you were on 7.5 in the beginning, did you have appetite suppression finally at 7.5?
I had some, but it wasn't for me, I've talked about it a lot. It was so much of a brain game to realize that I did not need as much food. I wasn't one of those people that, oh, I've eaten a grape and that's all I need for the day. I could overeat the drug all the time, all the time. It just took a really long time to be like, no, I have to serve myself one half to a third of what I would eat before, and I'm okay there. But I didn't know what satiation felt like ever in my life. I was either hungry or over full for as long as I can remember. So I didn't know what that felt like to be like, oh, that's satisfactory. I don't need more food. So I had to learn what a portion was, what a decreased portion was. It sucked. And it's not like I didn't have the knowledge. I had measured food and weighed food and done all the things and tracked food forever, but my brain told me I needed a whole sandwich and, a serving of fruit and a salad. And because that's what a meal was. And to realize that, you know what, I'm okay with like a half of that sandwich and an apple, and I'm okay. Now I realize the difference. But it took a long time. Like now I realize when my injection is wearing off and I can feel that appetite return. Uh, but I still have to watch my portions and realize, I don't need as much as what I think I do.
Yeah, Vicky said she's on Manjaro and it's amazing. Never knew you had food noise till took a
Yeah.
couple doses. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know what that was either. I didn't know it was a thing until it wasn't a thing.
No.
I was like, wow, it's really quiet in here,
I didn't know other people didn't have it. I thought we all had it.
right? Like, isn't that just a thing? No.
Right. What, you don't think about dinner while you're eating lunch?
Or breakfast?
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Joanna's on week 3 of Zepbound 2.5 and still bloated for the last 4 days now. It feels awful. What can I do to fix it?
Is it intestinal bloat or tissue bloat? Because that's one thing I weirdly I saw a triathlete post about being bloated last week, and I'm like, so what kind of bloat are we talking? Do you have to poop, or are we talking like are you tissue bloated, like third spacing, where like you know how you feel where you've eaten a bunch of sugar and you're bloated? Like there's bloat, and then there's bloat, and then there's the cortisol bloat, which is the intra-abdominal fat storage, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it could be food that's kind of in there needs to be pooped out. It could be just kind of what you're eating. It's not you're not used to like certain foods sitting in your stomach or in your intestines for so long, and now they're sitting there and they're fermenting and producing gas, and so you just kind of got to watch certain foods that you're eating. You'll notice that you might get like acid reflux after eating broccoli, per se. You know what I mean? You don't know. So just sometimes a food journal will help. No normal BMs and gas so full from bloat that I eat 2 bites and I fill up like 8 lots.
yeah, stop eating.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, it was like and it's the only way I could describe it is what I thought it would have felt like having had a gastric sleeve.
I mean, it's kind of what I felt like when I tried to increase to 2 tablets of metformin. Like breakfast from last Thursday was still in my stomach. Like it's never leaving. But when I went back to 1, I did okay.
Yeah, it just could be too much. I mean, it
Yeah.
slows your gastric emptying time. That's by a bazillion. Like the factor's really high. Now that also does calm down after a while. Like it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily stay that profound. But that's kind of part of it too.
This one's for you two. Missy's asking, with Zepbound, how many days till you notice a change? Is it instant or take time?
For me, it was about 4 hours. But that was brain. It was very different. For Courtney, it was 2 months.
Months.
Yeah, need to get a little higher dose. And a lot of like some patients, it's about 2 days before they really feel good appetite suppression with like the tirzepatide products. With semaglutide type products, it's within a couple of hours your appetite's suppressed. It's pretty crazy. I want to say mine was when I took semaglutide, it was within the hour, and I'm like, I was not hungry. I'm like, there's no way this happened.
So if it's new, if it's a symptom that's new after 3 weeks, a couple things. Is it pain? If it's pain, it needs to get evaluated, right? Did you go up in dose? And like Neil said, you got to look like I didn't used to be able to eat volume at all. Now I can eat an actual salad, which is kind of nice. Sort of, double-edged sword there. It does allow me to get in more fiber now, but I could not eat no broccoli, no Brussels, definitely not Brussels sprouts.
No cauliflower.
Mm-mm. Nope. And that was the thing. Well, I joke about the Whole Foods meatloaf, but I do like Whole Foods. I love Whole Foods meatloaf and mashed potatoes. And I didn't even eat a lot of it. And I ate it one night at 7:00, and 18 hours later, I was like, I'm going to die from meatloaf. Here's how it ends right here. And it wasn't like pain, like I need to go to the ER kind of pain. It was like this nagging, persistent fullness that I was like, this is awful. So
yeah, some people it's red meat, Joanna.
Yep.
They just can't eat red meat right now. Like at least when they first start, they can add it in later. But
and I've always been able to eat red meat, but like yesterday we had, lunch out.
Use the word cruciferous, Neil. There you go.
Nice.
We didn't use it on purpose because I always get made fun of for using that word, and you saved my butt. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. I cannot eat cruciferous vegetables. That's hilarious. Love it. I love it. Thank you. There you go. See, there you go. Team no cruciferous. No, we actually, I had a patient who was constantly bloated, constantly like this horrible upper abdominal discomfort. And I said, what do you eat every day? She's like, well, I have a big salad for lunch with lots of raw broccoli. I'm like, well, shit, no wonder. It's like horrible in this case. And it's just roughage, because again, being trained in the health professions, we, especially a dieter in the health professions, we were told for so many years that we had to increase our volume. You try to
Mhm.
do that now and you are going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. And the dose could be too high. I mean,
I think, that-
realistically,
I think she's at 2.5.
I thought she said 5. Did she say 5?
Nope, 2.5, week 3.
Okay. Or it could just be building up. I mean, just
It
getting,
builds up.
or the really the volume of food. In the beginning, and that's why I lost weight so fast. I couldn't eat. Like I had no desire, and my stomach was like
Yeah.
really full. Like
I mean, we
weird.
didn't probably know this in the beginning, but let's say you're like Joanna at 2.5 and your appetite's so suppressed you can't do anything. Would you stretch yours out to like day 8, day 9 before you gave yourself another shot? If you,
If I was on the Manjaro
yes.
on the pen, would I personally? No, because I can't. I don't count. I don't count in this thing because I can't be rational. Like I'm not allowed to make my own decisions. Okay, well, Tina, that's a problem.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
not, this isn't medical advice, but you need a provider. Like you need one that pays attention.
Yeah, you can't not eat.
Yeah, if I'm sick every day on Ozempic and haven't eaten in 4 days, you are what the media articles are written about because your provider's not doing their job.
Yeah.
Either the dose is too high, or you're not eating the right things, or you're eating the wrong things, period.
Yep.
Not staying hydrated, or you got stomach bug. There's that.
Yeah.
Or Ozempic's not the right drug for you, unfortunately. But yeah, I would definitely contact the provider, see if they can, one, help you with the nausea.
And if we are your provider, I hope you texted in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the thought, there's the thought that not being sick and not being able to eat anything, but the thought of, my husband's thought, some of these nausea side effects or that overfull feeling, that's kind of the medication working for you. You got to kind of ride with it. If you're noticing that certain foods are making you nauseated, your body's telling you to avoid those foods. If you're noticing that, you're feeling full, you're still eating too much. And it's that brain thing. I mean, you'd have to see my husband. He's a rather large guy. He's over 6 feet tall and, was 300 pounds when he started all of this. And to see him eat for lunch, carrots and pineapples, maybe a yogurt. And
What?
that is his lunch. But if he ate more than that, if he ate what he used to eat, he felt sick. And he was like, that's the medication working for me. That's how I lose the 100 pounds.
Yeah, water makes you sick. Are you trying something without water, like coconut water with some electrolytes or like
Honestly,
body armor light,
if
liquid
you're
IV?
eating 0, I would get regular old Gatorade because it'll give you a little bit of calories. It's easier on the stomach. That's where I would go.
Yeah, or regular body armor or something like that. Diet is so important. Hold on. Yeah, Tina, go to the ER. Yeah, I mean, if it's you gotta make sure what it is, right? And I hope you've talked to your provider in the last 4 days, not us on TikTok. I eat a lot of veg and protein and good fibers just to feel normal. Well, it depends if you're in those body armor light. Yeah, and that's exactly okay. I do drink Gatorade. Okay, good, perfect. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, then you are getting some nutrients in. I mean, but so 4 days of not eating anything is sort of relative. Like in the ER, we'd have people who would come in with like a stomach virus now bowel obstruction's different, right? Do you have a bowel obstruction? Have you had abdominal surgery? There's a whole can of worms to open here. Have you had abdominal surgeries? Have you had a history of bowel obstructions? Do all the things. So what are your thoughts for bariatric patients and GLP-1s? Fear of gastroparesis? Absolutely not 100%. 100% no. Like 100, we back at 100%. We don't fear gastroparesis in anyone, frankly.
Still waiting to see it.
Right. Out of 4,000 patients that have come through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, and apparently, was it last live that somebody said it's becoming standard of care post bariatric surgery to prescribe the GLP-1s to have better outcomes?
Yeah, I think you said that either a live or two ago that there's a lot of thought of that.
Yep. They're actually, because I was talking to a surgeon about it, and he thought it'd be a great idea, but he doesn't do bariatrics anymore, so really wasn't going to go any farther than a fart in church. But But somebody on the live had actually said that that's becoming standard of care. So
Wouldn't you want to try these meds before bariatric surgery, though?
I don't disagree.
I mean, that's
Depends.
what I would do.
Depends. I think it depends on the criticality of the nature.
Okay.
Now, because in big, huge medical centers, right, you like they'll do bariatric surgery to save somebody's life. That's different. Like when they go in for a heart transplant, they will do a bariatric procedure at the same time because the outcomes are so much better, which just floored me to learn that. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because I always think of bariatric surgery as not cosmetic, right? That's not what I'm saying, but as a whatever. Anyway, so I think in that case, it's different. I mean, it has turned around heart failure patients so they don't need, like, so they can get off their LVAD, for God's sake. Like, holy, like, that's important, right? You got an LVAD patient, send them to surgery, and they don't need their LVAD anymore? Like, what?
Wow.
Like, that's different. Now, if it's a run-of-the-mill, most bariatric patients, you're right. Why wouldn't you want to try this for 6 months first, just to see how it goes? Because what's 6 months, right? It's a hockey season. It's not. It's way less. That was a quote from a movie. I don't know. I agree with that 100%, Neil. Yeah. Linda said, bloated. How can I not be bloated? Yeah, we just talked about, really, it's the number one is food journals. See what you eat that makes you bloated. That's the short version. Any concern with GLP-1 and Crohn's disease remission? We actually have seen much more success with Crohn's medications requiring less medications, non-specific colitis remission with these medications. That's anecdotal.
Yeah. And gallbladder removed, absolutely no concerns with gallbladder removed in these medications.
Yeah. Concerns for taking tirzepatide with pericarditis, just diagnosed in the ER. As an educated guess, tirzepatide is an not an anti-inflammatory. That was the wrong word. What's the word? Help me.
It's cardioprotective, but it decreases
It decreases inflammation. It's not an anti-inflammatory, but it does decrease your inflammatory markers. So I would not relate the two if it were me and I was your doctor. Yeah.
Even though some doctors like to blame it on everything.
Right?
Oh, you
I'm
broke
sorry.
your toe?
You have an ingrown toenail? Yeah, it's the GLP-1, the ingrown toenail. It's totally it. Did you stub your toe while you were taking your Manjaro?
Yeah, it's everything is blamed on, which is kind of scary to me because I wonder if so many other things are getting blown off.
Right.
Because
like
they
miss
blame it on.
things. Well, you know.
Yeah.
It must be a side effect of the drug. No, it's not. Get a scope.
Right. Like, yes.
Except for us, they come in with this and they're on these meds. It's not the meds. Let's look for something else.
Right? We're like the worst practice ever. Like, it can't be, it's probably not the meds. Okay. And then we rule out all the shit that's going to kill you. And then, okay, it's the meds.
Yes.
But that's the thing. That's how we roll, right? So Misty said, I was on Wegovy and developed a gallstone that was almost the size of a golf ball. Emergency surgery. Yep. So it happens when you lose weight. So it happens when you're fat. So it happens when you're pregnant and female and in your 40s.
Yep.
It happens if you lost weight without the medication.
Yep. Sucks.
Happens if you gain weight.
Like, I figure we're kind of screwed with women with gallbladders.
Yeah, just get it yanked.
I don't want it yanked. I don't want any more things yanked in there.
It's great surgery.
Did you have your gallbladder out?
I had to after the twins. They spiked me. Yeah.
I only
get that double dose of hormones going for you, and then a crappy diet and being obese. Yeah.
Wasn't there one more F, like frothy or something?
No, it was like
frothy poops or something.
Well, it is frothy poops, but
like female fat 40, fair skinned. They say is one of the.
Oh, fair skinned. Okay, there it is.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Foamy poop.
Oh yeah, Wendy, I'm sorry because Wendy's primary doctor's not happy that she started with an appropriate medication for weight loss.
Sorry.
I get it. Manjaro's used off label for weight loss. I totally understand that.
Now he's gonna have to like read and stuff to make sure it doesn't interact with other things you're taking. Oh no.
Oh,
he's gonna have to learn.
Birth control pills. Back it up, man. Back it up. I know. Fertile. Yeah, fertile 40 fat.
Female.
Frothy.
Frothy. Festive. I don't know. Does alcohol do it?
Yeah.
All right. As I see everyone following the host, give Neil a follow too.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah. We forgot to ask. So we do this every time, right?
Yeah.
We do. Okay. So give us little loves. Give us tap loves.
Yeah.
Follow us. Go to amstelehealth.com if you want to be a patient. We forget this. We've been on here for 90 freaking minutes, and
Yeah.
that's because we just
Follow Neil.
follow Neil.
Follow
His
Neil with his little
face.
circle. Follow me. There we go. Tap all the likes and spread the
Yeah.
love, please.
Lots of love. I liked my own live.
Okay.
Ready? I think it's funny that you can like your life, you like your own life. I find that bizarro. My doctor suggested Manjaro. Oh my goodness, thank you, Wendy. Appreciate it. My doctor suggested Manjaro for my PCOS, and my OBGYN said birth control is better.
Woo! What do you think about that?
No, no,
Mm-mm.
no. It's on the. It's a black. It's the label. It's on
Oh,
the label.
oh
Wait.
no. He's saying that birth control is better for PCOS.
That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, and maybe I mean I don't know about better, but
Okay. But
that is a common treatment is to go ahead and start on birth control pills to help control the PCOS symptoms.
And it does work for some people.
yeah.
Just
But
like
don't
metformin
but
works for
birth
some
control
people.
GLP-1s does not make birth control pills
No,
better.
no,
No.
It makes it
no.
ineffective.
Unless
No,
you want
I
to name
was
your baby
I was reading
tirzepatide.
that her doctor said birth control first before Mounjaro.
Oh, no. I don't opinion. Ready? Remember we talked about this opinions? I would not do well, it depends, right? How badly do you want to get pregnant? A lot of times people with PCOS are trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, in that case, you still have to not get pregnant while you're on Mounjaro or tirzepatide. But it will also pave the way quite nicely, usually, to get pregnant. Drinking alcohol on compound, any of these GLP-1s, if you are a heavy drinker, we have seen anecdotally it is a risk factor for pancreatitis.
The
Some people
only
have
time we've seen pancreatitis is
the
with a
only
drink.
time. Yep. I just want to help my insulin resistance to have a safer pregnancy. Yeah, as long as you don't get pregnant on it, stop 2 to 3 months before you want to get pregnant.
What do you think about this? Like getting your sugar under control and your hormones under control, and then stopping it, switching to like metformin,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of keep it under control, and then try getting pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
We could have a trying to conceive pathway.
no, that's what we did for my niece.
Yep.
I made sure she was using backup, got her on semaglutide, got her to a healthy BMI. All of this was approved by her primary care as well as by her OB-GYN. Put her on metformin to start helping with maintenance when she went to see the high-risk OB-GYN before trying to become pregnant. They said, absolutely, please stick with the metformin. You need it. It's protective. It'll help you maintain, but it'll also help protect you from gestational diabetes and other problems because she has some other risk factors. So yeah, I think it's a great alternative.
Define heavy drinking, asking for a friend.
Mm.
Well, I don't have to define heavy drinking. I think the DSM-5 does for me, if I'm not mistaken, or the AMA maybe. Hold on. I would rather do it that way. The CDC, how about that? For men, heavy drinking is defined as 15 drinks or more per week, 8 or more drinks per week from the CDC. I'll take that.
So I can have 7 tonight, and I'm good. Nice.
Absolutely.
Go right ahead.
Right.
I
Take
don't
that
have
with
a
a grain of
problem.
salt. But at least it gives us somewhere to start, right? Because people think, oh, if I have a glass of wine every night and then, split a bottle on the weekends, that's heavy drinking, period. Like there's no, now binge pattern, like you said, 7 once a week is not a great idea either, right? Now I think there should be a caveat, right? Of more than X. I think it's more than one a day for females, if I'm not mistaken. Drinking levels defined. Oh, well, here, hold on. Please hold the NIH. Ready? Oh, this is actually a lot more comprehensive. Please hold. Heavy alcohol use. 4 or more on any day or 8 or more drinks per week. Oh, there we go. It's a lot, if I must say so myself. For men, consuming 5 or more drinks on any day or 15. Now, this is heavy alcohol use, right? This is not Like, and I'm not saying under that is healthy. Please do not infer that from this information. But this is heavy alcohol use. Certain people should avoid alcohol completely, including those who plan to operate machinery or drive,
Yes.
take certain over the counter prescriptions, have certain medical conditions, are younger than age 21, are pregnant or may become pregnant, or are recovering from alcohol use disorder, or are unable to control the amount that they drink. There you go.
I may have had a problem in nursing school then.
I I'm not a nice human being.
Sassy Shelly's asking, maintenance, which is better, same dose with more days in between or smaller doses? I am in the smaller doses camp.
Yep.
If you're like, let's say on 10 milligrams of tirzepatide every 2 weeks, I would rather you do 5 milligrams weekly. And then as you lower the dose, it is possible like you get down to 2.5 and then you start stretching it out to like 9 days. And then you're kind of like looking, do I need this?
Right.
Can you try it off, and see how it goes?
We misstate, could my BHRT be less effective while I'm on semaglutide? I'm 56 and not losing on 0.25. 0.25 is not meant to be a weight loss dose. Weight loss doses are 1.5 to 2.4, which is 10 times that dose almost. So 0.25 is to get you used to the drug, so you know if you're going to be a diarrhea kind of candidate, really. I mean, diarrhea is the worst kind.
The HRT is not going to affect it all. I was on HRT and I lost just fine on semaglutide. Yeah. I mean, a little bit different hormones, and you might be on testosterone as well too, but nope, should not affect it.
I'm just laughing. Sassy Shelly. Oh man, I'm tired of injecting myself. Do you know what? I get excited on Sundays when shit's off the rails. You know what? I'm like, yes, I get to poke myself tomorrow. Except for that it burns right now. But guess what? Guess what's not going to burn? Next week.
That's right. That's right. Valerie Michelle, you've asked a couple times, so we'll get to this. Can we show what 2.5 milligrams looks like on a syringe? Unfortunately, we cannot because concentrations are different from every pharmacy. So that is a question for the person who prescribed it for you or the compounding pharmacy in and of this itself. Now, if you knew what they told you in units, yes, we could show that to you on a syringe, but 2.5 milligrams is going to be different at different compounding pharmacies.
Yep. So if you know their concentration, you can let us know here, and Neil can math because Neil's ready to math.
Yeah. So I don't. It's harder to see. This is a 30 unit syringe, but like basically, it depends on how many units. Will you focus on there?
I got it. No, go back a little bit. There you go. Stop.
There we go. Like that right there is a 20. It's not. And that's
you gotta go to watch AMS if you want to see Neil have fun with a syringe.
20 units, like if that's your dose.
Okay, we're gonna get totally flagged for that shit.
That's
okay,
right
that was
where
terrible.
You go.
It sounded horrible.
Yeah, that's right where you go. And if you were at 15, there's a little line right there, and that's where you would draw that little plunger to, and that's 15 units. But your bottle might say 12 units.
I have 100 units. Hold on.
Okay. I chose a 30 unit syringe because the numbers are much bigger.
Ashley Ashley Wolf said, is it okay to take electrolytes while on tirzepatide, specifically element? It is not only okay, it is beneficial. We recommend 1 electrolyte drink at minimum a day, 2 if it's hot in the summer, or if your food intake is really low.
Okay. 100 units. This is a syringe of 100 units. So it is all the way, the top black part of that plunger is all the way at the line that says 100. If in fact your dose says to take 100 units, but please, 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 please confirm that, like 1,000 times confirm that. But that is where you go for the 100 is all the way down there, the top black part of the plunger next to the line that says 100.
Yeah, I agree with Jenna. It says 10 milligrams of compounded TER is a therapeutic dose. For the vast majority of people, they will have effects there. Inject 25 units is 2.5 mgs. So 25 units is, ready? Courtney and Neil, like Vanna White, ready? Pull up, please. Right, pull up the 25 units.
The 25 number.
Courtney, move it over a little bit for TikTok. Move it. Oh, other way.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so it's to the line that says 25, and it is hard for you to see, and it's going to be different on a different syringe, but there will be a line that says, mine has a line for 20 and then a line for 25, and then right in between the two, a line for 20 and a line for 30. Right in between is a larger hashtag that is the 25. That would be your 25. Hope that helps.
Did you read what I just read, Neil?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
and she's talking about different syringes are different. So this is only a 30 unit syringe, not
Yes.
100. So it's much easier to calculate 25 units, but it's almost a
Especially
full
without reading
syringe.
glasses.
Yeah, this is almost a full syringe versus Courtney's. You're taking a very small portion of that
Yeah.
syringe.
Yeah, Misty said my doctor called in 3 dosages for 3 months. CVS filled 1 milligram by mistake.
Well, they probably couldn't fill the other doses, and I saw this on Reddit. This just happened to someone on Reddit too. Thought they filled the high dose because they couldn't get the smaller ones.
But then they need to tell the patient.
Correct. I can't get out of there with my thyroid medicine that I've been filling for 5 years.
The doctor needs to talk to you. Thank God at least they know me now at my HEB where they're like,
Yeah.
hey, doc. I'm like, hey, thanks. See ya. Gotta go.
Yeah.
One of the texts is awesome. He's like, hey, doc, how's it going? I'm like, good.
Oh.
What?
They even had the doses.
I'm sorry.
Oh. What are your recommended electrolyte drinks?
Mine is tropical coconut body armor, which is my fave. I am a habit kind of gal.
I like orange.
So you guys can hear the cat. That's hilarious. I am wearing pants. That's the good news. Well, technically I'm wearing shorts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so Body Armor Light's good. Gatorade Zero is good. Liquid IV, some people like. Body Armor Light doesn't have as much sodium as I'd actually like in it. And then there's Prime Hydration too. Same problem, not that much sodium in it. But they taste good. So I would go out and try a couple of different hydration drinks, find one you like, before you buy a case of them. Because Liquid IV, some people think tastes like seawater, like I do. But
I still haven't tried it. This is Benny Cat. Benny Cat really needs the Manjaro. And he's a real big snuggle cat. Looks like a walrus. Looks like a furry potato. But he's a good snuggle cat. And really likes the lap snuggles. Oh, God. Okay. Liquid IV peach, and it's too sweet. Yeah, I mean, is it better? I still haven't. Where exactly are we going? What are we doing? I don't know what he's doing. I haven't tried Liquid IV yet. I really think I need to try it. I just need to not do like the Costco size, right? Because I need to go to Whole Foods and in the little sample-y thing. I did that. Problem is, like 3 out of 4 electrolyte drinks. This is like a study, right? 3 out of 4 doctors prefer Colgate toothpaste. No. 3 out of 4 electrolyte drinks I don't like. So I don't like trying new things. Oh, I got a heart. Thank you.
Yay.
I had to dilute it. It's sugar free. Got it at Walmart. Yeah, I gotta try it. I gotta try it.
An Electrolyte was not good.
Oh yeah, the chewing on the cucumber rind. There you go.
Yeah, even I think the strawberry like kiwi was okay, and then there was another one that was really gross too. Coconut or something like that. It was not good.
It like tastes like liquid suntan lotion.
Yes.
It's like the lemon. What are you eating? Sorry, cat's chewing on a cord. He's eating anything he can. Right? I told you he needs a tirzepatide. Yes, he's a good cat though. Oh, I waved at somebody. How did I do that? Hi. I'm so not good on TikTok. 2 black cherry Propel packets. That's Propel's good actually. As far as like amount, there's potassium in it, correct?
I have to look because I think that one has more like B vitamins than the other stuff.
Because it's Gatorade. It's no Powerade. No. Oh crapola. Hold on.
I know you have to look it up.
All I know is it's cheap, which is why I like it. Except it's Gatorade, Propel, 0 sugar. I just need to look at the label. Give me a label. All right, there we go. Potassium 70. Oh, that's not very much.
It's very low.
Now I say that because if I don't do a fair amount of potassium in the day, I get real weird body aches and muscle cramps and stuff. And speaking of which, when I'm eating a bunch of garbage, straight up garbage, non-nutritive cereal varnish, I'm not getting my electrolytes in either, right? Because one bad habit begets another. So then my sleep is crap. My stress is too high. Whether it's causing it or an effect of it, it's a bad snowball. I'm not getting in one of these a day. So then everything hurts. And I also wonder if that's contributing to the stupid burning of the meds.
Could be.
Oh my god, this morning was like, you got to be kidding me. Because normally, like sometimes the poke hurts from the dart, But no, it was a poke and burn. It was like, you know what it was like? Lidocaine. That's what it
Ooh,
felt
Oh,
like. Both
ouch.
weeks, last week and this week, it felt like lidocaine.
What do we think of the Fairlife Core Power? I drink one daily.
Yes, yes,
We like them.
yes. We're a big fan of the 42s. Is it normal for muscles to hurt? That's actually what I was just talking about. If I two things make my muscles hurt. Well, Iron Man 3, half Iron Man 4, um, a 10-mile run 5. Just kidding. But if I don't have a potassium drink in a day, like coconut water or Body Armor Light or Liquid IV, I've never had Liquid IV. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go to the store today. Um, hold on, I gotta close the door. Oh, let me know if you can hear the bike trainer behind me. Once it starts up. I'm obviously not on it. Speaking of things that make my legs hurt, watching my husband ride the bike makes my legs hurt. He's lots of watts, lots of watts. But if I'm dehydrated or not having electrolytes or I have a lot of sugar, those are the dietary things that will make my muscles just have a bone deep ache. Just shitty. So you suggest 100 grams of protein daily. Hold on, where was the lab thing? Only Body Armor Tropical Coconut for me. Thank you. The regular coconut's okay too. Sugar-free Powerade is good. I had to check it. I haven't had it in a long time. Hold on. What was the lab question?
I didn't see it either.
Okay. So Jen, if you can
Oh,
recopy that. How much
potassium.
potassium in a day? If you're salt sensitive and it raises your blood pressure, you can actually use, what is it? The Morton half salt thing? Because I know you're not supposed to salt things, but what is it called? New
Mrs.
salt, low
Dash.
salt?
Yeah, it's like potassium instead of sodium chloride.
So if you're not salt sensitive, the potassium would actually help. I don't recommend an amount. I prefer an actual drinkage, like a pre-prepared one, because I don't want people adding potassium to things. I think that
Dangerous.
it's real dangerous. Yeah.
I think you'd have to drink a ton of these to have a problem with the potassium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
Salt
you were,
sense, yeah, no salt sense, something like that, because they use potassium in there. And I'm thinking, why do I not use that for like endurance? But you need more sodium for the endurance. But if it makes my muscles hurt, then why not both? But it's a good reminder. I need to pack some body armor because I'm going to bring one on the run.
Where did it go? Oh, how much water would minimum would you say? I don't think there's a specific number for people. I know they say what 8 ounce glasses or something like that. It's your pee needs to be pretty clear. So if you have dark pee,
Drink more.
You got to drink more.
yeah. Suggestions for nausea. Different things work for different people. For some people, some protein, just a little protein to coat the stomach. My husband uses yogurt. A bit of Greek yogurt helps. We had some other people that like some beef jerky or pieces of cheese would work. Some people, a tiny bit of carbs, like a fruit or maybe a cracker. Try some different things. And then also look at your food, because sometimes it's certain foods that you wouldn't think would cause nausea are actually causing your nausea.
What is like some people like that ginger chews? You can smell
Yeah.
like a little bit of like an alcohol prep or like isopropyl alcohol. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah, ginger tea or turmeric tea.
Yeah. Now, if the potassium is prescribed, that's
Yeah.
a different story. I just don't like giving out as general advice because first do no harm and that kills people. Redmond salt too. That's good to know.
Perfect. Wildflower 4.3 is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And I don't know what my potassium actually is. I just know that, hold on. Why is that? Seems like more consistent concentration. What was that in regards to? I missed it.
Yeah, I don't know.
A ton of muscle cramps when I first started these, and she was showing she was potassium deficient. A lot of it is decreased food intake. I mean, our food intake drops so profoundly. Bird's eye oven roasters, broccoli and cauliflower.
I think some of it also is like people say,
that
"Oh,
makes my stomach hurt."
while you're on these, drink a lot of water." They forget to say electrolyte drink.
Electrolytes.
So you're basically dehydrating yourself and you're peeing out all your electrolytes that you did have, and now you're deficient because you're not getting them.
Yeah. Well, even some of our people, um, we don't stress it as much as we should. We say stay hydrated, which makes people think water
Yeah.
when we really mean one or two of these a day. Coffee has potassium in it, so I'm good.
Same.
So, all right, we are almost done. Today was a good day. It was a good
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Lots of good questions. Lots of great questions. Super appreciative of everyone. I get cramps really bad, so should I take a potassium supplement? You should get checked to see what your potassium is, and then if it is low, talk to your doctor about getting that. Now, in the meantime, try a Body Armor Light. Try a Liquid IV. See if it helps.
Yep.
Because one of these a day, unless your doctor says specifically not to, one of these a day won't hurt you. It's when other things get kind of sketch. I need to split Manjaro pens. Benefits of dosing: half 2 times a week versus full dose weekly. It's got a half-life of 5 days. So other than being a pain in the ass, no. Now,
Yeah,
some
I
people
take full
say,
dose
but some people
weekly.
say it helps. But again, it's in the studies, no. And not with a half-life of 5 days. Last question. Third week, 2.5 Zepbound, gain and loss, same 3 pounds, normal. Depends on time of the month because we're female too. Um, depends on the poops, depends on what you've been eating. And a lot of times, it just depends. Like, it depends. It depends. Like, how was your stress that week? How was your sleep? How did everything go? Went to the doctor today. Insurance will not cover any meds. Welcome to the real world.
Yep.
Most, what I would say 90% of our patients don't have it covered. They use the savings card for Zepbound. I still want to try getting an HEB and I keep forgetting. They use the savings card for Zepbound because that at least brings it to $550 a month, or they do compounded meds if they're comfortable with it. So,
Yep. I threw our website on there. If you are in one of our states, hop on the website, see if you're in one of our states. If you want to become a patient, click that button. If you're not one of our states, keep scrolling. You can find Mirabelle Campos or Nikki Baldwin, and they are in all the other states that we are not. One of them is.
yep. Someone's got you.
Yep.
Kips White. So, is it okay to split up your dose? If so, how do you do that? So, if you're on compounded medicine, it is okay to split up your dose. If you're on one of those ready inject pens, we don't recommend splitting your dose because it's not technically feasible. I've seen it done if you look all around online, but
Same. If you
I
go
don't
on
see that.
YouTube, we do not advise it, but if you go on YouTube, there are some videos of people doing that.
Nothing ever worked, so still in that mindset. Yeah, so this will work. That's the good news. If you're on tirzepatide, it will work. Stay the course, play the long game.
Yep.
That's
Give it
the
time.
one thing with us that, and the long game, like I said, it doesn't look like I thought it would, right? I thought I'd be at my goal weight and then I would just cruise. No, you're going to do stupid things. Not stupid, right? I get it. I've just been beating myself up about it. But I'm going to put myself back in a place where, guess what? I need to lose weight because that's where I'm comfortable. And I still think that insight was really killer today. At the beginning, I talked about how, this is what I've done for 45 years. I don't know what to do with myself when I'm not losing weight. So, but going forward, I'm going to really work toward even keel stress, better sleep habits, more mindful eating. Like, yeah, totally a journey. And I know people are like, oh, it's the journey, the Manjaro journey. It is. It is. We need road signs. We need speed limits. We need speed bumps. There are some bridges. Sometimes we're in the carpool lane. Sometimes you're going it alone, opinions on greens. If you can stomach them, fine.
Crazy Nick
Yeah.
420. I'll put a website on there. She can get compound through us as long as she just meets any of our criteria. Yeah.
Misty, I lost 50 pounds in 8 months, give or take. Gained 10 the last 2.
Same.
That's been a little bit of work. Courtney, how much did you lose and how long?
Oh gosh, because it was so
I think it was
yo-yo.
6
Between
maybe?
25 and 30 pounds took 4 to 5 months, and now I fluctuate. Used to say I fluctuate 5 pounds. Now I'm fluctuating up to 8 pounds. I'd like to get back down to. I'd like to lose about 6 from where I am now. So maintenance is not straightforward at all.
God, I wish it was, right?
Yeah,
I wish it was just like, "Oh, look, I lost the weight."
yeah,
Like, look at that. No, it's not.
not
Which
at
is
all.
okay, right? It makes me a better provider. It makes me better.
Yep.
Um, all right. So there was something else I think I missed. Hold on. Neil, you lost weight. You lost
Yeah,
weight.
I lost about 35 pounds in, I'd say 3 months, because that last month it was like a quarter pound a week. But
Mhm.
I was just trying to see how far I could go. Like I was kind of already at where I was comfortable. I was like, can I break 200? So
And did it naturally stop?
it kind of
Right.
slowed down a little bit. And yeah, and I wasn't hungry, and I don't think I was overeating. It just really slowed down. But I have a pretty decent amount of muscle mass, so that wasn't coming off. So, and then after I stopped, like I think over the next like two weeks or so, I gained about 5 pounds, but it was just like the muscles filling back out with glycogen, no fat storage, and I've kind of stuck there.
Oh, how can I deal with the heartburn or sulfur burps? For 99% of our patients, it's what you're eating, how much, and when. So it's if you're eating a lot of volume or drinking fluids with your food, it causes more reflux. Certain foods will cause reflux depending on the person. It's not like we can say, oh, it's the Mexican food, right? Is anyone, yeah, freezing all the time? Well, I always am anyway.
Yeah,
And then
same.
with loss of weight, it's like there's
It's
no
worse.
hope.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah. 117 pounds over 14 months. I missed that. That's awesome. Is our compound mixed with anything else? So we are not a compounding pharmacy. We work with 5 or 6, I don't know, whatever, 5 or 6 pharmacies.
Yeah,
Each one of them compounds with something different.
yeah, B6, B12, or L-carnitine, and I think there's one that does NAD. So depending on what state is what you get, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100 pounds in a year.
Awesome.
Yeah. And we don't promote one over the other. It's some people have different results with different pharmacies. We don't, all we do is collect money on behalf of them and ship it to them. That's it. Like, and they ship the meds to you. So we're just the middleman there. But we get a better price. I mean, like one of our pharmacies, it's twice as expensive if the patient orders direct.
Please,
Well, they
yeah.
can't order direct without a prescription anyway. But if they bill the patient versus bill the clinic, it's literally twice as much money. So us being the middleman for that saves you a good chunk of change.
Mitch loves Boston. I have low thyroid, so I'm always cold anyway. Oh, where to go? It seems more now. It may be, and it maybe your thyroid needs adjusted. They do decrease a little bit on these medications.
Yes. And with weight loss, you need to have your thyroid rechecked to make sure your dose is correct. I forget that a lot. What's the cost of 15 milligrams compound? Depends on your state. Um, so, Florida. Thank you for being quick on the draw. So,
Yeah.
Florida compound, hold on, 15. So, that'd be either, so it's 640 for one, 500. They don't do Florida. Sorry, I lied. The 640 does Florida. It's 68 milligrams for 640, 68 for 610 in another pharmacy.
Oh, link is
Oh,
440.
never mind. 60 for 440 with the new one we have. God bless them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next week to seeing if it still burns if I'm not inflamed. I don't care if it does. I'll be honest. Like, whatever. I'll take it. Just did blood work and dose has gone up for thyroid. Good job. And then another one is 60 milligrams for 615. And then 40 milligrams for 425. That one's not worth it. You're paying more than Zepbound 550. Of course, you can't get Zepbound, so there's that.
Yeah.
Christy, those prices are for compounded. Insurance typically doesn't cover it. A lot of times you can use your FSA card to pay for the medicine. It kind of depends. But yeah, otherwise no insurance.
Yep.
440 for 60 milligrams. If you're doing 15 milligrams, that's 4 doses.
4 doses.
Yep.
Christy, our company, if you're asking, is Active Medical Solutions. AMStelehealth.com is our company. But we are not a pharmacy. We are medical providers.
Yes. And this is not medical advice.
And we do not accept insurance.
Yeah. How are my favorite people? Who's on? Who said
It's
that?
Joy.
Hi. Who is it, Joy? Oh, Joy. How are you, Joy?
Hi, Joy.
Like I can't see because I don't have. All I have is like the group chat showing up. All right. Anyway, any last minute concerns before I pee my pants?
Right?
That's what happens when you're hydrated.
Yeah.
If I ask my husband, can I have a snack? No, not by yourself. I'm not hungry. That's exactly it. I'm not hungry. I'm so used to eating all day long. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to go have some more coffee, I think, and go. Actually, I really need to go for a run.
All
So
right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Follow me. Follow Neil Hyzak
follow Neil on
FNP.
TikTok, please.
Courtney.
Hello, Courtney. Like the shit.
So next week, it's during the solar eclipse.
Oh.
So I'm going to be outside doing the I'm going to bring my laptop outside. So it might not be this pretty. But
Is anybody going to show up? I'd be watching the solar eclipse.
so bring your phone outside, pop in. I don't know, and let us know. Get over to amspublicgroup.com. Tell us if we should switch the day next week to avoid the solar eclipse. I bought the eclipse glasses.
I'm excited. I have a brand new telescope that will record. So
nice.
Man.
Pretty stoked.
So yeah, we'll discuss that. If we do change the date next week, if we're gonna do it on Tuesday or something, we'll let you guys know. We'll put up a thing. All right.
Awesome.
But we'll see you sometime next week.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.